get all dressed up for you, so you could take me down. My lipstick on your lip, I like the way it's done. You know it's different with me, we got that kind of sound. Turn it up, make it so loud, I'ma make my neighbors proud. Yeah, like I give a shot. Turn me up, baby, give me that boy. Make it gangsta, 'cause I like it real.
The board entry fee is the shipping and handling tax. So we don't mind paying the $100 for the effects. This new one here is definitely a return for me. And I have one of the biggest influential ballroom figures standing here right next to me. Please don't mind me, I'm a little, a little nervous because I'm very grateful for this opportunity to come because Courtney, icon, Courtney, Aga, like transcended a lot of things just in the key scene alone. We didn't even touch the dance scene yet, and we still have the mainstream as Mother Aga. So, and she is literally the culture. She claims it. She's confident behind it. She stands behind so many things that she says and does because she has receipts behind everything that she has done, and she knows that. And I also want to say too, because Courtney is an influencer before there was even social media. The way that she moves and breathes life into so many people into different in different sectors and groups is really like unannounced and crazy. So I definitely want to give you flowers for that, Courtney. Thank you for being here on this. I already know like it's up for me after this. So I want to start off with my first thing. Are you still wounded from the cookout, the Juicy Cookout?
Did you come?
I wasn't there. I was
Why you never come? You never come.
I know.
It's too bingy for you?
No, it wasn't too bingy, but there was certain energies that I didn't want to run into. That I had, that I was just like, I don't want to be involved. I was afraid they was gonna be there, but I was gonna go with Evie, but she had work, so we made the pastelitos together, and we,
They were delicious. Thank you for that. Yes, I'm still wounded. I'm still wounded by that. And when I say for those that probably watching this that probably don't really know too much about our culture, when I say wounded, I'm not hurt. I'm not like physically hurt, but in the mind, I'm hurt. Like, I'm hurt because, having an event takes money, time, preparation, energy, and it's important that we these space. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm shy. I'm gonna loosen up though. Hello.
Yeah.
So it's very
Yes.
important that when we're in those spaces that we take care of each other. Like, we may not all get along, but we all have a sense of respect for each other. And I feel like that respect was thrown out the window for us to open up our cookout. This is our 9th year of having a cookout. And for people to come and do that was just like, I'm wounded.
Yeah. No, I mean, these seems to be happening a lot all the time, but it's a key because when you was on live talking about it and you were saying you was wounded, I was like, watch people run and make that a thing in a matter of seconds. And people was already posting it, was wounded, and it was a transcendent thing. So like, let's get into that and like, cause you produce a lot of slang for the culture too, right? Like, so what are some of your words that you like coined that like really just was in the girls' mouths?
Well, first, shout out to Iman Hill. I got wounded from Iman Hill. She said it one day and I was weak. I was like, what? What do you should I left them wounded. I'm like, I love that. I'm gonna start saying that. Like, because I understood what that means. But there's a couple of phases like when a girl's like, oh, that's bagel, like, you'd be somewhere like, this is dry, like, this dry as fuck. And one day I was with Alex, my son, Alex Mugler, we were together and we was in the house keying and I was eating a bagel. And the bagel was so dry and I was like, yo, this day is like this bagel. Like, it's dry as fuck. There's nothing going on. There's nothing here. There's a lot of other slang I made up. Like, I'm trying to figure it out because
it's so much.
It's so much.
Courtney.
It
like,
is a lot.
It's so much. It's a lot of slang. Like, just be like, because the thing too, like, you're really humorous, and I think that's part of like your influences, your charisma behind like all that you do, right? So where do you think you get your person? Like, where does Courtney? How did you develop Courtney? Like, where did she get?
I think it's a defense mechanism. Like, you come in the room, like you're already scared, you're already shy, you're already timid. So it's like they're gonna look at you regardless. So why not make it about you? Why not come in like, hey
Okay.
y'all, what's up? I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. Like,
Right.
because they're gonna look at like, like being a taller girl with body, like, being one of the girls, like, and before I was in ballroom, I was already operating in more straight heterosexual spaces. And that's where I get a lot of my confidence from, a lot of my charisma, because it's like, when you're a young queen, it's like, when you just a young nugget, you usually it's a key. Or they're like, yo, the little nugget by the corner is a key. Like, that will be carrying. It's like, and that's just what it's always been. And then I watch a lot of stand-up comedy, so I'm so fast.
Quick,
Yeah, I'm so
because
fast.
because I read that thing. I'm like, yo, Courtney is really like has a thing with quick wits. Like she's on it.
I try to
with
be real
stuff.
witty because I watch it for years. I've been from Martin stand-ups when it was on tape.
Oh,
So listen to that in my sleep. Like, Queens of Comedy, the CD. Like, not the DVD, the CD.
the CD.
Like,
Damn,
yeah, like
originals.
I listen to that, and that's one thing I wanted to be as a kid too. I wanted to be a comedian. I wanted to be a DJ, but then I was like, fuck it, just give me some titties.
Oh my
ass. I'm gonna just figure it out from here. I'm gonna just work it out from here. See where this is gonna take me.
Right. So now you came out. When did you come out around the time of the Ballroom? Because you did. You recently posted 2 about like a sneak up you Vogan. You said you were 16.
And it's my ballroom journey has been like the Viper or the Superman ride, whatever one of those. I don't know. I don't get on roller coasters.
Period. Yeah.
I got on one. I was really wounded. Haven't did it since, and that was in the 90s. So my ballroom career, my ballroom journey it started out going to the village, meeting somebody, saying, "Oh my gosh." First of all, when I got there, I wanted to be in the house. I just knew
Immediately.
I wanted to be in the house because I grew up with the Revlons. My mother is Tammy Revlon. She's the icon. She left Revlon to become an icon. Tammy Revlon, the iconic DeAndre Revlon. I knew them since I was like 8. Because when we come from the dance scene,
Yes,
after the dance scene, you go to the ballroom.
literally.
You graduate.
Literally, yeah.
So when I was doing the dancing and they was teaching me, they was more so in the ballroom. And I'm like, bitch, I want to do this dancing stuff. And they was we on our way to the Octagon, bitch. We on our way to the clubhouse. We on our way everywhere else. And I'm like, why not doing the dance shows no more? Like, what's going on?
Yes.
And then watching the dance shows, you'll see like Dollar Move, a little bit, Deja,
Yes,
all the girls.
Icon girls was
Tora, you see these are all the dancing girls. And then
Malachi, all of them.
by the time I started dancing, I didn't see these girls no more. I'm like, where they at? And then they like, then they on the DVD and they voguing. I'm like, oh, that's where you gotta go. So when you done with the dancing, you gotta go that way.
Right.
And I was like, okay, well, the dancing thing ain't working out. I'm gonna just see what's going on over here because it's boring. Gotta go to rehearsal 3-4 times a week. The village is more fun than rehearsal.
Right.
So that's how
But you created Pretty Kitties, which ended up turning into the Masterz. How did that evolve? Because
see, that's the thing. Not to cut you off, sorry.
That's fine.
The Pretty Kitties and the Masterz is not the same.
They're not the same.
No.
Okay.
And that's a big. It's like saying like I'm a Juicy and I'm a Balenciaga. It's just, but it's not the same thing. Like the way they're ran are differently too. Both like I don't run the Juicies. I ran the Juicies by myself. I don't run Balenciaga by myself. I ran Pretty Kitties by myself. I don't run the Masterz by myself.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's different. Like the Pretty Kitties was like a young thing, and I love everything I learned from that experience because being young and being trans, it was nobody else doing it.
I was 16 when I first met you. I was 15, 16, right around rerunners. And I just remember I was like, yo, like I was watching clips already. So I was just getting into clips. I have never seen one of the girls before until I ran into you. And he was like, oh, you that little boy that did with David? And I was just like, yeah. He was like, come give me a hug. And I was just like, so stop. I was like, what? Like, so where did you get the precision, like the eye? Because the artistic eye is dope too.
So the funny thing about it is like dancing as a kid, I did more block parties and shows. because I couldn't do a lot of shows. I was able to dance in every group, but
Mhm.
when it's time to go to shows, I never danced because I had no money. My mother had like 9 kids, so $60 for an outfit and then $20 for shows. We don't have that.
Mhm.
Like, we had washing machine, dryer, TVs, VCR. Like, we wouldn't. A movie day for us is not the theater. Movie day is we're gonna get the bootleg movie. You're gonna pop some popcorn. And you're gonna sit home and watch it.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to no movie theaters. You're not going to that because remember, it's me and I have 4 little sisters, but then my mother have older kids too.
Mhm.
But when my older siblings started helping out more, I was able to do more.
Got it.
But when I was able to do more, I wasn't in that space of dancing. So I was the student of the game, a student where I would get the dance tapes and I would go watch them, like see, like like when the tape, when the videos come out,
Yeah.
my girlfriend dance, they got the tape, I go make a copy, I dub it,
Yes.
I'm watching it. I used to go to people rehearsals and learn the dance, learn the transitions. It's time for the outfits to be paid on Monday. I'm not coming back. Because I can't afford to be here. But I was still getting the training. I was still getting the techniques. I was still getting polished by like Wooly and Ray Sean and Eric, and all of these people were really still pouring into me. Tammy, of course. Tammy she was the one that really took but once Tammy started teaching me, she went to Ballroom and she left me, and I was trying to figure my way out. And and don't get me wrong, my father paid for one of my outfits one time, but we never got the outfit.
Oh
So
my
my father was wounded by that. Like, he don't have money to be giving out $40, gave you $40. I got no outfit. It was no show. So it was like, where's the stuff at?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm still waiting for them. Like, I'm still going to practice every day at Tammy's house, every day after school. And she's like,
you asking my money for, you spent money on something else. I would have been like, what?
And at the time, Tammy was transitioning. So she was transitioning and she didn't really care too much about the dancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, when I started transitioning, I didn't care too much about the dancing either.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm done with this. But the kids kept calling me, seeing me. Like, Courtney, what about us? What about us? And I was giving, what about y'all, girl? What about me?
Right. Like, I'm trying to,
So I was a student. I would watch the tapes. I watched the tapes when I was coming up, be at the rehearsals, know the mixes, know the sounds, identify the sounds that's in the mix when I hear them outside playing on the regular radio. So I became a student, and then that's like when I got into it, I was like, I want it. But I'm gonna do it. And I'm competitive, so when I did our first show, we won. Second show, we came in 3rd place. I was like, yeah, it's up from here.
So, because with the Pretty Kitties, it was always rumored that you had a very strict height limit. Even with the boys, with Alex, it was still like a push come to, like, it was a thing. Like, so that was true, though. Like, you had a very strict, why? Why did you have?
Because, I'm gonna be real with you. The dancers that we had, everybody was on different levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I knew about monetizing back then. So for us to battle we run this, I'm pretty sure that y'all probably had more technique than we had, but on the scale, we still got to perform. We're still being judged on this performance. And in this performance, we're all going to be 5, 6 and under, and every step we hit is going to look like we're all doing it, like we're the Oompa Loompas. And as we're doing them, everybody looks exactly the same. It's just so clean and so precise because remember, like when Pretty Kitties was up, we wasn't in the kid category. We was in the adults. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine. That song is a key though. But that's your favorite song, though.
Yes. I'm so sorry. My just Barbara, I'm quiet.
I gotta get him too. He's gonna be.
So it worked for us because we was going against untouchable shorties, and they was definitely more skilled than us, and they never beat us. Like, because my method worked. Had I would have had people dancing in my group that was like, imagine they all wasn't the same age. Like some people were 20, some people was 12, but they all was the same age. They all was the same height. And they all like didn't have the same level, but I put them on one level.
Yeah.
So, but if I went against untouchable shorties, and it's like I got people in here that's like 5'9", and we can't do nothing that they could do, we gonna get clipped.
But you guys really was like, because even how Pretty Kitties grown into like, even it's like his last themes from the baseball and the Beyonce, like the theme work was really a thing too. It was really dope to see.
I didn't like that baseball one. That baseball one was swag. Yes.
Really?
You know what it was? But like I said, a lot of stuff of that stuff I was still learning and I was still transitioning. Like I would be
But you
getting.
had the girls, like, oh, like you had the girls. Even then, people like you always had the it bitches, even with the dance groups. Like,
You know what it is? And me and someone had an argument about that.
really?
Me and someone had an argument at OTA one day, and he was like, I'm gonna say who it was too. It was Ken Mattel. He was like,
Oh,
you just got fab in Ballroom. I was like, no. Anything I
no.
did, I was fab at.
Everything you
Like
touched,
I'm
turned
like,
to
you was in the
gold.
dance scene, you saw that. Like, oh, you just popping now because your mother Og. I'm like, when I did the Juicies, I was lit. When I did Pretty Kitties, I was lit. I'm the only person that you've seen come from you. We all remember everybody started dance companies.
Yeah, CDA. Yeah.
Everybody who made money off of doing it.
Mm.
Who made money? Every time they did a company, they was charging you. I'm charging the consumer. We need that for us.
Like pay us to,
Yeah. They didn't do that. They were like, so a lot of people don't give me a lot of credit for the things I have done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. Like, I watch people make their mistakes and learn from their mistakes and not even be in the same room and you'll know you're making a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm not your girlfriend. I don't know what's going on. I'm looking at you like you said you was doing that on Monday and Monday came, I ain't see it.
I ain't see it.
You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Like,
And when people would say that, like, even in the block, even when block parties was cute, like even Von King Park, like where they have the cookouts at where I'm from across the street. I would come out of my house in 96, crowds of people will follow me to the park. Crowds of people waiting for me to come outside my building to walk me to the park for me to get on stage like I was James Brown.
Are you serious?
Yes. I was a prodigy as a kid. No man, no Mika.
I really believe, I mean, not saying that it's not to believe, but I can attest to that, like, because I really be thinking that too, just by the success of the Juicies. Like, because if I'm not mistaken, right, the Juicies just started as a face house. But if you can correct me, right, when you started it, you didn't have the intention of it being in a performance house? Did you start it as
So how it started was, we started the Juicies, but we started to look around where we could get in that, right? So at that time, the Pink Ladies, like they owned performance.
Yeah.
You couldn't even breathe on the runway, bitch. You come up there and your hand is chopped off.
I mean, that's like now.
You will leave without your hand.
Yeah.
Like they wasn't having it. The McQueen's own runway. You want your legs, don't hit that floor. So it was like we was trying to get in. So it's like, all right, and then it's like realness. At the time, the McQueen had a lot of Spanish girls, so they was doing the realness for the girls, and then the boys went to Pink Ladies. So there was no room for us. But when the face category was only 2 people walking, so we like, Jinkies, let's go in there. Let's take that lane. It's 2 people in there. If it's 5 of us come, we throw them off the ship. Gilligan is no longer here. It's our island now.
Yeah.
So that's how we thought about it. Like, that was all of this was how we got in it. Like, it was more so like, all right, we had Sheree, we had Chantel, we had Christian, and we had Kimora. Like, those are the 4.
I forgot his name. I think his name was Chucky. Because I remember y'all took a picture. Do you have an umbrella? It was an old picture. And I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. Yes.
We had to, like I said, we had to find a way to get in. And we went through that. Because remember, at the Kiki scene back then, it was only 4 categories. Special dress for everybody. Face for everybody. Runway for everybody. Performance for everybody. You could get that done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
With the LSS and lunch and the HIV message, bitch. All of it's done. And the work's day.
And the simple scene is the beginning.
Yeah. The whole thing is done. And we just wanted to find a spot in the face category. We got in through there. And then once we got in through there, we found we would still practice and do the performance things and learn how to, because I remember when the house was like, oh, Courtney, we need to have a practice. I was like, y'all practice this?
Yeah.
What you mean it's a practice? Like, I never said, I'm vogued the house with my friends. We didn't call it practice. We just did it. Like, it was just a thing. Like, we got to come together and get a room and in the studio. What? That's how this go. I didn't know how it went. Like, I had to learn as I went. And then once you started learning how to practice and come up with things and formations and thinking about exercising and exercises that get us better. And then we started doing the vocal shit too. Sorry for saying shit.
No, it's fine,
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, because roughly too, once you got your performance kids, y'all really just went. I mean, like you had Alex, and I remember Aaron was in there for a little minute. You had your bunch, but you always somehow just kept revolving with new talent. But your talent was always on par with the rest of the talent that was in the house. So how did you? So in my next question would be like, do you know who's a Juicy without? Like, would you look at somebody and be like, oh, like she's a Juicy? Like if they didn't Vogue or nothing, would you be able to tell? Even if you look at the performance, would you be able to tell like, oh, they have a Juicy quality?
No, not all the
Really?
time. No, all the time. No, we don't know that way, but we know what we're looking for.
Okay.
So we're looking for hunger. Like
Okay.
it's like the NBA. Like I'm not gonna go and draft a 30-year-old person and put him in. Like, I don't want to hear that you got bills and responsibilities. You can't make it to practice. I need you young and fresh and hungry. And when you're young, fresh, and hungry, I know you're going to score 20 every night you come out.
And you're going to get your time and the effort that you put in is going to
Yeah.
be worthwhile. And I think it's a big thing too, because just from managing as well, like you had to come through a lot of personalities and people going through their things and heartbreaks and stuff that people don't really talk about. That it's not easy. You make it look really well.
I'm still wounded.
done.
I'm still wounded. I am wounded. No, it was
It's
a lot. Like I have learned see, coming up in Brooklyn and being one of the Brooklyn, I call them Brooklyn queens. Like where I'm from is a lot of Brooklyn queens, but they don't do ballroom.
Okay.
So it's like to be around a lot of LGBT people and their problems, I did not even know. Like I was giving these kids even more trauma. I used to be tearing them up. What? I used to carry on them. I used to be cursed. I would never apologize for it because I feel like I didn't do nothing. I didn't, But the thing was like really, I didn't even know people had anxiety. I didn't know what that was. Like, because I don't come from that. Like, I come from, my mother have 9 kids, so if I fell on the floor and scraped my knee, you got to get back up. What you mean? You got things to do. We don't have time to sit around.
And cry.
Is your neck broke?
Right.
That's what my mother would say. Is your neck broke? Like for instance, like when I put Barbie on that ladder,
yes,
that ladder was broke.
Oh, really?
She could have snapped her whole neck.
Yeah.
And it was given, you ain't said your neck not broke, you gonna win. Your neck not broke, you're gonna win.
So being that too, because that was a big thing too, and you definitely created moments within the Juicies that the other houses wouldn't create, right? But I actually want to kind of get into this because where do you think the animosity towards the House of Juicy stems from? Because you had a lot of hashtags.
We had beef with every house.
Yeah, at one point.
Because what happened was, I feel like they, it was cool when we was only winning face. And then when it became like whatever's hot, we don't remember we was the only ones walking face at one time. Then everybody else started walking. So then it's like, oh, see, so we want to be in y'all. And I feel like people, the animosity comes from this. Now, this is between not really the house, but some of the individuals. Some of the individuals will be on the pier hanging out like we all do start off. Then they become Juicies. They don't want to be on the pier no more. They don't want to hang out new. They're acting brand new, and they think it's me. First of all, at that time, I was grown. I don't hang out on the pier. I still don't hang out on the pier. When I was 14, 15, 16, 17, I was on the pier every day of my life.
Right.
I was on the pier I was on the pier one day, it was frozen, the water. It was giving Tanya Harding and Nancy Kerrigan, you could have got in the water.
Right.
That's how frozen it was on a winter day. I don't do that no more. So I don't have an issue with them hanging out with anybody. That's where the first animosity came out. Oh, you're a Juicy now. You're acting brand new. Because then we started doing more stuff outside of the scene, like going to the movies, I learned how to cook dinner because the Juicies needed to eat.
So I want to touch that because that was like just studying the Juicies. Because I remember, so when I became like Father O Navy, one of the things too that I was just like, because I think I had inbox you, and I was just like, what is missing? Like I was in this whole hunt of like trying to make it, and you was just like, you'll see, and I was just like, okay, and it always stuck with me. But one of the things that I've kind of grown to learn through people talking about Juicy is like the family aspect of it and how like you really make that the glue, even down to like praying and like all these affirmations that people would be like, oh, they went on time. And I'm like, but like, at least for me, I believe a lot of the animosity comes from the fact that they don't know the formula that you like be putting in. And it's a secret. You still have your secrets in how you do things. But it'd be the basic stuff as far as like camaraderie, like being on a team. A lot of people don't know what it's like to be on a team. And so even when you was on a live yesterday talking about like, yeah, like we may not like each other, that's how we really are, but I know that if we beef and we may fight, but I know I got to get my, my husband a water when they walk in. People don't even think that far to think like, you know what I mean? And like, a lot of people can't survive in that space where it's like, all right, I'm gonna need you to drop you and be for the house and like be like represent, like it's not about you, it's about the house. And then I think somebody told me one time, you said that like like nobody's in the house is bigger than the name. And that really stuck with me because people sometimes really get fab and think that they are above the name. And it's interesting, that like even though as fab as the house is, one thing I always hear, and Evie always, she was like, girl, Courtney reads us every time. Like, if we go off that floor, we look bad. She's going to tell us we look bad. And I think that's really cool because it's like, people need to hear the truth, especially if you trust me and my vision and my vision is going to equal a grand prize. Like, why would you not honor or respect what I'm saying if I say, girl, I don't like that hair? Like, little things that I feel like other people in the scene don't really take in consideration that it's the magic behind Juicy.
I think that people think that they give it to us with a silver spoon.
Yeah.
Like that's what they think. And it's not. Like we had to literally have to be 2-3 steps ahead. Like, like even what made me step away from the Kiki scene, because I'm not really active in the Juicy. What made me step away one day, me and Khalik, and everybody was downstairs and we were all downstairs and Little Mama asked the question. He was like, you think the Juicy's gonna win House of the Year this year? I was like, no, they're not gonna win. They should. They should win, but they're not. They say, well, the Louboutins. I'm like, well, the Louboutins won a couple of balls in the beginning of the year. They did, but there was no competition out. And every time the competition was there, they lost. Like, I remember that was the year when the Old Navy's had that
the Disney thing. Yes, and it was house with the most points. And like, yeah.
I was like, I'm like, they beat us for that ball, that category, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we are from that ball on, y'all didn't win nothing else. Like, we was still taking y'all to the paint, like, and y'all was, and then me and Khalik argue for like 2 hours. Because I will argue.
Are you gonna argue down for Juicy? No shade.
I am because I know the monetizing. I know the algorithms, and I told him like, we're gonna remember this conversation again. And I said, he was like, y'all gonna win House of the Year. We're gonna see. They won House of the Year, and they won 2 other years. Princess of the Year, Keats, and JC Young won Ball of the Year. And Charmin won 3 of the years on his own. So he won just as much as y'all did as one individual. Charmin won 3. Y'all only had 3 trophies. I think Jaja even won 3 that year. If I'm
yes,
not
because it was Versace's and he was
The Juicy's won 16 awards. So I told you. Who should have won House of the Year? We had the work to show you what we won. You had Princess of the Year is not a category.
Right. It's a title, but
Ball of the Year is not a category. The categories were there that we won.
The categories we won.
And we was at an AGA meeting. And I was like, Khalik, congratulations on your of the year. What else did y'all win? He was like, oh, something else. I'm like, you don't remember? He's like, I don't remember. I was like, I do. I wasn't even at the ball. Take a picture of that table and show me what's on that table.
Courtney.
And I asked for a list because I understand the monetizing and algorithms. I do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. You're not going to tell me that, all right, you won a ball. This is not to them. This is to anybody.
Yeah.
You won, it's 10 balls. You won 4 balls and nobody was there. We don't even remember those. What makes the hot balls is the hot battles with the hot girls.
Yeah.
You could win 7 trophies, battle nobody, and win the cash. All right, go pay your phone bill. But when you go in the paint, like LeBron could battle anybody and win, but when LeBron goes up against Steph Curry and the Lakers go against Golden State, that's what we watching. Now the views are there now.
Shade.
Like we're not gonna be watching this, you playing, you exercising.
They don't even set the battles up like that for it to be hot like that anymore. They know, but they don't be doing it.
I'm just saying, Dante, that's how I see it now.
Yeah.
And cause like when you've been doing it for so long and doing it like how I've been doing in a competitive way, like I knew that they were gonna give you the of the year, but I knew that we just won 3 years back to back. On the flex.
Like, was it 3? No, because how many House of the Years have you won altogether?
We did 2 3-peats. 2 3-peats back to back. Like,
Really?
no one has ever did that 3 times back to back.
Yeah.
Like, one thing about the Juicies, when we start, once it's off, when it's up, it's literally stuck.
Because I remember too, there was a point in time where you dipped out from the Kiki scene and the girls was given the Juicy closed and it was given Juicy 2.0. It was such a weird, but I don't think only Jaja really and I really speak about this, but it was such a weird time in that period when it wasn't really given.
It shifted, right?
Shifted boots where it was just like nothing was happening, and it was because the competition was removed. And so to me, it was just like y'all complain especially at the time, it was always Juicy's always win everything, y'all all they need to go. They left, and so to speak. And nobody picked up. Like, there was no other, claim house that was just like, okay, well, we the next bitches to beat or whatever.
And the whole scene was, real eerie.
Real eerie.
It was, nothing going on. It was like this. It was COVID. It was COVID.
Even before it was COVID, no shade.
The girls were wounded.
Because then y'all came back and then it was given, but it was just I'm like, you, as much as they hate, y'all have to understand, people have to understand, Juicy's presence and impact in the Kiki scene, especially in that era at the time where, productions and everything was just, starting to become a thing. It was very pivotal.
I remember the day I came back into that ball. That was, after we closed because I needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
I needed a break, and I came back because I was a day Aiden.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was Anaya had a party. I went to Anaya party at she had a party at the club, and I came, and I remember Anaya was like, "You coming?" She had a party bus, so all the kids get on the party bus, and my friends are like, "All right, Courtney, we leaving." I'm like, "All right, Anaya, I love you." And she was like, she looked at me like, "You're not coming?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "No, that y'all do that. I'm gonna just go over here with my friends." And she was like, "I'm your friend too," and it touched me They was like, why you not coming? Come on, come with us. I'm like, that's not my age group. I don't want to hang out with children. And then he was giving it's not children. Ain't we family? And I was like, all right, y'all, let me just tell them bye.
Right.
And then my friends, I couldn't tell. My friends was giving, we're not going with them kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friends turned the corner. I ran and jumped on that bus so fast and was like, pull off. I'm going with my kids. And they, when we closed the house, they kept coming around, and then they weren't doing so good. And I said, you know what? I remember we had a meeting. The first meeting we had back, the meeting was it was a 9-hour meeting. The meeting was supposed to start at 12 o'clock, right? 3 o'clock.
Are you serious?
Got there at 12. Nobody knew I was coming.
Uh-huh.
So Anaya had set up the meeting, and I remember she had posted, this when you first started going live, and she posted, Courtney's here. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, they came in that meeting flooding. Everybody came.
Yeah.
And everybody just jumped in the shower, jumped up. Some people didn't probably even take a shower. Somebody was like, I gotta go. It was everybody just stormed and came. And I remember when I first started speaking, the tears in their eyes. And I was telling them, I've been watching and I've been getting phone calls, and you guys are doing terrible. And this is the final straw. You guys have shown, you can't do it without me. And I was like, and you know what they said? You never taught us how to do it without you. And that's what made me come back, because I'm like, you know what? For me to be a greater leader, I have to teach others how to lead. I have to show you. I never showed y'all. I just did everything for y'all. Got y'all ready. Never picked who was going to be next. Never showed y'all nothing. It's oh, you walking the ball? You're the mother of the house. Barbie's mother of the house at the time, but she didn't have no relationship with them. Mm-hmm. She didn't hang out with them. She did her own thing. Yeah. And she was the face of the house. Yes. And we was okay with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And me and Barbie became real close. Me and her we're still close. Yeah. That's still my daughter. But shout out to her. Shout out to her. Yes, I love her so much. I'm trying to get her to come to the Juicy Ball.
Yes.
I never taught them, and they said that to me, and I was like, you know what? Y'all right. I never showed y'all nothing. So when I came back that time, I said, this is how it's going to work, y'all. It's a ball coming up and housing works. It's Grand Prize's face as a house. If y'all lose, house close.
Oh shit! Right, because that's the foundation of the
Right.
house.
If you win,
That's the legacy.
I'll stay open. Yeah, it was. The girls was wounded that night. First of all, that meeting was on Sunday. The ball was on Friday. When I walked in the door, Bishop was like, "Courtney here. Oh my gosh, it's over for us." I remember the Pink Ladies walked, the Marcianos walked. We came in, and I think I forgot who had the best outfits. Not us. We didn't have the best outfits. The best outfits was, I don't know if it was, the Marcianos had the best outfits. The Pink Ladies had the best effect. They had on like this green.
That's the ball where Tyree came as the lobster, I think it was.
No, this is like a housing works ball. This is a housing works ball.
Oh, okay.
I think the Pink Ladies had on green. It was Naja and them had on green. And the Marcianos had on black. They looked at fab. But my daughter Anaya just got her nose done. And it was not, it was giving not tonight, y'all. Not tonight. And we threw that look together. But it was Anaya, Jerry, like, you know, and somebody else, I won't just say their name because they transitioned over to like a female, so I won't do that, like, you know. And they were really sitting too, and we really brought it together. Mind you, one person dropped out the team, and I wrote on Facebook, "I can't believe this shit" at 4 o'clock in the morning. And Day, like them, Day said, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Call me." And I called Day on the phone like, "Baby, I need you to come out tomorrow, because you have to have 5 people." I'm like, "You got to book this boy." He's like, I'm in the house. I'm in Malik's house." I was like, "That don't have nothing to do with me. You can't do that with Malik. I need you for tomorrow." So he came out and said, I wound up still in Malik and taking Malik and taking the girls.
Is this why Nikki is so revolutionary right now to you?
Oh, my daughter?
Yeah, Nikki Juicy, mother.
You know what's funny? I knew she was gonna be. I met her hanging out with older femme queens in the hotel. We was all hanging out. I think she was like 16 at the time, and she was just so. They were so full of life. Her and Milan. Milan was more quiet at the time. Nikki was like real loud, and they had on eyebrows with no makeup. They was like the girls, but still brand new girls, and I just loved the energy. And I was like, she was so like animated, so, and we both love Drag Race, and she just was always so affirming, like, "Oh my gosh, you look so cute, you got body." So we were just keying, and I was like, "You in the house?" She's like, "I say by being one house, I want to be a Juicy." I'm like, and then Tamaya was like, "You know, Courtney's in charge of the Juicies," and she was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah." I was just sitting there like, "Yeah." She was like, I was like, "Come to the practice on Thursday, take my number." And she came on Thursday. That Thursday, if she would have never showed up, I would have never. Like, one thing about me, I give you one chance. If you don't show up, it's over for you. I don't want to work with you, because I'm looking for someone that communicates, someone that wants it, someone's hungry. So once I put it on the table, you don't take it. I don't want it.
I live for that. No shade. You really have like your
like, because it's what we're gonna do. You don't want it.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna keep calling you and texting your phone for? What? You not give me no money. I'm not getting paid for this.
Down.
Like, if you want to be a part, you be a part. If you don't, you don't. And she showed up that day, and I was like, okay. And then our relationship and the way she would talk and the way Quana will always want to know. Quana will always want to know information. And I remember I said I wanted to teach people.
Yeah.
This is what I was back for. I can't just leave. So I started teaching them. The girls that was already there wasn't going to want to learn because they were so used to having things handed to them.
Yeah.
So me trying to teach Anaya at this point wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Because she would have been like, they're not listening.
Yeah.
She's like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. And the people, one thing about the house is like, even when they were Anaya and Tatina were mothers, they were still sisters to them. They were like, the mothers was always the faces of the house, but they was like, to them, those are my sisters, like those are ones, and they always take care of the girls. Always have a seat, you can sit here,
Because I've always noticed that too, and I think a lot of people too, which is why a lot of girls even wants to join Juicy, because Juicy takes care of their girls, like from the look, head down. Like I've seen, like just from like even the way that Ella's evolving right now with the new girls, and then even Barbie, because I already knew when I first seen Barbie, I knew when she was a Versace that she wasn't gonna be Versace for long. I'm like, she's gonna be a Juicy. I know she's gonna be Juicy. Just by how she bring in her hunger, I'm like, she's gonna want to be in a house that's going to match her hunger. And I think a lot of new kids too, I realized on this period, like they want to be in a house that's gonna match their hunger.
It was actually not even. I asked Barbie one time, and she actually declined. And she was a lawyer. I was paying it, and then one day I was at BBQs and we all was drunk at BBQs, and I was like, "Look, bitch, look." Cause in the Juicies, they was like, we made her mother, New Jersey mother, like, you know, and I was like, the Juicies was against it, but
Oh, really?
they were against it. They was giving like, what's going on, Courtney? You just doing anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
It's
like,
a method to the madness.
It's a method.
I told them that.
I
was like, watch.
I was like, you know what? I said to them, like, and I'm giving a formula to people because they still can't take.
But this is the thing, though. I was like, watch, because Barbie's a blank slate. And so I was like, watch her go to mother. People gonna be gagging, oh, they ain't no chapter. I'm like, watch. Courtney's gonna put the formula on her and watch. She is going to put the formula on her. She's gonna start winning. Watch. And it was like, when it worked out, I'm like, y'all can't be mad.
She's undefeated for face, nobody beat her.
Yes, I was like, y'all cannot be mad. Y'all cannot be mad. Y'all cannot be mad. I'm sorry. Well, I live for Barbie now. But I that was something where I was just like, y'all can't be, like, if y'all pay attention, y'all will see. And people don't pay attention. They want to compete, but they don't know what they're competing with.
They don't know what to do.
They don't know what they're competing with.
At that time, I feel like a lot of new kids were coming in the scene, but they weren't coming to Juicy. They weren't coming here. And I told them, like, taking Barbie and showing Barbie as a young kid and turning her around.
What?
All those kids are gonna come here because they're gonna be like,
I want to be like,
I can be that.
I can be Barbie, yeah.
Literally,
I want that management.
Yeah, I can be that. If I go with them, this is what they're doing. Like, I don't want to be at practice every week, Vogue, and I want to do something else. And I knew that. And the meeting, we had a whole meeting. It was all of the leaders. They were yelling at me and everything. I felt. Also, I'm still wounded from that meeting. Like, And only person that was on my side was Nikki. I think Nikki and Tay was on my. They was like, we never did that. Tay was like, yes, we have did that before.
I feel like, y'all turned girls out into, But
it's also I can't take credit for that. Mm. We like girls because girls they always want so much more.
It's hard to manage the girl.
Yeah, but you know that. But you got. I'm a girl's girl.
I know.
So I like girls, like, no homo, no lesbian, no nothing. But I like girls, and I like to see them elevate. I like to see them. That's where I get that from the House of Icon. James Icon had all the dolls.
Let's get into the Juicy Ball coming up. You excited for it? Well, like, how do you feel? How do you think the turnout's gonna be? Y'all giving out how much money?
I mean, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. As much as y'all did in Legendary, if I'm not mistaken. No, that's not.
No, we're not giving out 100,000.
No. But it's up there though.
Well, we're giving out, for Film Green Performance, giving out $2,023. I think that's the highest paid category in the Kiki scene ever.
Really? How much?
We're giving out $2,000 for one category for Film Green Performance.
Oh.
I don't think it was more than that.
But is it House with the most points too, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't release that yet, but by the time you put this out, it'll be
okay.
Yeah. We giving out House with the most points too, but we giving out Film Green Performance. Is that it was at $1,500? Is that $2,023, and it's still going up.
Damn.
People still trying to give me money. I don't know if I want to give that much.
It's going to be so intense. I feel like it's going to be a mainstream feel.
Everybody from the mainstream is coming. Harry Balenciaga's coming. The Margellas are coming. Like Simone and them said, we're going to this ball.
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And y'all got it done at y'all doing it at the Amazora thing too.
Shout out to Genovia.
Oh, she put
the House of Love, Marcus Escada. Yes, they've been. See, that's one thing about I feel like the Juicy's, like, the mainstream supports us so much. And I appreciate that.
Because, I mean, like, if y'all really would to really, I mean, people always say this, if the Juicy was to be mainstream, like, a lot of houses would close or be, wounded down. But even as Aga, though, you somehow able to kind of give an essence of, like, I'm not gonna make y'all Juicies, but I'm gonna make y'all Agas but more. And it's working.
But they be wanting to come. Like, they be in their houses already and they be like, I wanna go. All the people that's Agas, that's our Juicies, was already in another mainstream house. Mm-hmm. And they all was like, I wanna go with you because I've been in a house and it's not the same. It's gonna work. And
there's gonna be results.
Yeah.
But I do want to end it off here because I also want to say too, like, you also produce people in their personal lives for them to succeed. Makai, Devin, he was recently in the VMAs.
That has nothing to do with
Really?
No.
I feel like it does, Courtney. I know they're passionate with Courtney.
No, it really, like,
Courtney.
I can't take credit for none of that.
Come on. They all under you.
I just can't. I can't because those individuals when I seen them was already
They
a
was already
star.
had
Like,
it.
you know, I already seen them like, bitch, what? Yo, they was already scoring 30 points. I'm like, yo, I need y'all. Like, you know, Honey was a LaBeija. And how me and Honey became cool because Honey lived I moved to Brooklyn. And me and Gia was living together and Honey lived across the street. Her father brought me all types of fruits when I first moved in. Pineapples,
Are you
tangerines.
serious?
Yes, like Honey family's really nice. Like they lived across the street from me in Brooklyn. That's how me and Honey would come to my house. We'd be sleep on the couch together. So that's how she wanted to become an aga because she was in LaBeija. And those kids, Devin been dancing since he was like, what's that show? The kids, the lip sync show. He was on that. Yes,
don't know.
them kids been on it.
But-
Them kids been training and monsters. I can't take.
But you
credit
have to
for
give you credit to have the eye to even see that and like recruit that.
that.
Like the eye.
But I think that anybody would. Once you see them, you would. You just gotta have patience. Like, you
But
know,
even managing them too, I don't know. I feel like you need because like
I
you
can't.
pick
I
a lot
can't.
of talent that is fab and continue to pick a lot of talent that is fab. Like,
But I also like talent. I like people like that have something going on. When I'm
Okay.
picking to join my house, mainstream, I want you to have
even
something.
Angel though.
Like I said, like Andrew just graduated from college last year. I want somebody to have something going. Like it's a new way I just put in my house. And he just graduated from college. Remember the girl I just met? I'm looking at her.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her face. She just graduated from college. And she a film queen. I'm like, oh, girl, you got your bachelor's in science.
Right.
Girl. Like,
Right.
that's what I look for. I don't just want you to do nothing with yourself. Because when you do nothing with yourself, you're bored, you're arguing on the blue app.
Girl.
Like, who got time for that? Let me argue on the blue app for you.
Girl.
Like, you have, like, I
No
want you to have
shade.
something going on and something for yourself. And that's why I like those individuals. Like, you know, I like them because, Honey was telling me, I want to do this, I want to do that. And listen to this, okay, girl. Makai's telling you right now, I want this, I want that. Devin's at another audition. He got another phone call, he got another thing.
But
I
if you
love
didn't
that.
believe in them, Courtney.
They
I
already
feel
had it go. No, they really already had it going on.
Okay. So they already had the belief in themselves.
Yes.
You was just like encouraging.
I just love, like, even down to Little Kim, like, Little
Damn.
Kim was already, like, doing hair in the Bronx. All the girls she doing hair in the Bronx. Like, that's her thing. Like, I already see it, but anybody will see it because it's already there. You can't.
No, I don't think everybody sees it. Or at least know how to use it to their benefit because
They don't even know how to use it. They don't even know how to use
that's
it.
why we know how to manage it because they somehow go to you and then it'd be an evolution. It'd be like every evolution that happens. You have
I
to give
can't.
yourself.
I can't. Like, I'm a real bitch. I can't take credit for them because they talented. Like that's. They're gonna be somewhere. They're gonna be somewhere big. They're gonna be somewhere because that's what they want. We have been around people our whole lives in the scene that don't want nothing.
Yes.
Some of the most talented vulgars that we know that are talented as hell could sit everybody in this room 4 times back to back and still just want to go to the pier and smoke a weed and just mad because you ain't like watch their clips. Like, we seen that.
Yeah, we have.
You know what I'm saying? That these girls be so broken and wounded. These kids are not broken and wounded. These kids know what they want. Like, Brooklyn knows what she wants. I can never say, like, I named her Brooklyn and she gave me the juicy first, but we can't take credit for that.
I mean, Brooklyn, she done with Viral and everything before she even like, but it's still, that's why I'm like, certain people, even Barbie, she has a backstory too before joining and becoming, which I have to get her to talk about. But to me, I've always seen it. I'm like, she seems to know how to get the ones that even be like, they already about something and then they just become more.
You have the conversation with people, and once you have the conversation, you see what they have. I have to have a conversation with people, and I'll be like, oh, girl, what you want? Like, this boy yesterday told me, like, oh, yeah, I would be an aga, but I want to battle them. I'm like, but she goes, but I'm going to go to West. I'm like, you know, that's what all the girls have. But me having a conversation with her, I see that she don't even know what she do. Like, just say you want to be in the mix. And I get that. You on one competition because that's where the competition at. If you wanted to be the only girl, you could have said, Ricky, what's up? Make me an allure. You just talking shit right now.
Let me be an allure.
Yeah, if you want to be, let me go join. It's 2 T-sheets.
Yeah.
Make me the 3rd one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, bitch, fuck that. Let me go join JC to be a Revlon.
Right.
Let me bring Ebony back.
Yeah.
You saying, I don't want to be dumb. you're not speaking right, baby. So some conversations, once he said that, I was like, I'm not even interested.
I'm not even gonna mind. I'm not even entertaining.
I'm not even interested no more.
Yeah,
because you're not even talking.
It is though. There's some credit though. Beating the Juicies does get you out there. It's because you guys are so competitive. So I mean, like, people want to be part of the team, but it's also like if you beat them, you can become the girl beating them, and like it adds to
I think that the girls, that's a thing. It depends on where you beat them at, because every time there's money on the line, your head is on the ground. We have the most accolades. Every time it's for a coin, you can't even afford what they're going to spend. Because I tell them all the time, no, I was Tati, don't spend all your money on that. She be like, I ain't letting these girls get nothing off of me.
Oh.
Nothing. Tati bought this dress one time. I'm trying to get somebody to make her dress for like $400. I was like, this could work. She was like, okay, no problem. She went and got a dress made for $1,500, and the hair was like $400, and then the shoes was $1,000. I was like, girl, and they would tell you, I tell them don't spend their money on balls like that. I'm like, it's a Kiki, you can get something made from from Rosa or something. They be like, no, Courtney, I'm not wearing that.
Right.
Like, we can stone it together. They was like, Courtney, I'm not no kid like that. They don't want that. Because they don't want you to, they don't, like, it's like, I'm like, you're not going to get your money back for spending all this. Like, it's just these girls won't say it. Because the girls, like, Tati was going to bring it. And she would look at these girls like, these girls not going to touch me. Because if I come on some Kiki ass shit, you going to come in your Sunday's best and they going to give it to you. But I'm not giving you that.
But it's also the standard too of just being a Juicy, because if anybody came as any type of Kiki thing, you know, y'all getting it 10 times hard. Like, oh girl, she's falling apart. Oh, what's happening to Juicy? Oh, like it gives that. But I'm gonna leave this because I know we have time. But why does Juicy mean so much to you?
Because it means a lot to me, because when I was young, I felt like I was told about Ballroom. Like, oh, you're going to be there, they're going to cut your face.
Oh, my God.
They're going to do this to you. They're going to rob you. They're going to make you pump your cheeks. And they tell you all this stuff. And you be so scared and you be so afraid. And I feel like Juicy was something that I created, so I made it a different way. From what they told me it was, I made it something that it wasn't. It's magical to us. It's educational to us. It's spiritual for us. It's loving to us. It's family. We could sit around and Mad Juicy be right here, and I could just tell them the same stories over and over again. They'll just hear them. Or I done told Nikki stories, and I'll see her go and do the same thing I told what I did. All over again.
Oral tradition.
Like, I remember telling her, oh, I stole Davina from the Pink Ladies like this. She goes like, oh, that was cute. And 2 days later, she goes, still Milan. I'm like, girl, that's like, girl, that's what you said to do. You said make the girls gag. That's what you did, so we did it. Like, or Angel at the board is like, he's a Mattel, LSS, and then switching, because I did that before. Y'all they made me upset? Watch this. Shaquem was a pink lady walking in the Grand March. I took him off the line. You're not even a pink lady no more, baby. You walking as a Juicy tonight.
Are you serious?
Worth everything I love.
You are not playing with these girls.
That's my son. What you mean he in your house? He didn't tell me that. But Juicy means a lot to me. Juicy has taught me so much. It taught me how to navigate through Ballroom. It taught me how not to be afraid. It gave me family. It gave me friends. It gave me memories, laughter. We done laughed together. We done cried together. We done fought together. We done ate together. That's why everything we do means so much. The cookouts, the dinners. Like, even if I don't go to a Kiki ball again, I'll still go to the dinners.
Yeah.
I'll still be around them. If they hit me up, I'll still respond back to the messages.
But them being on Legendary literally is that moment where it was just like, I can sit back and enjoy the fruits of my labor at this point.
They called me and asked me to be on the show. I was like, I would never do that.
Really? Because that was my thing too. I was like, I want to Courtney, but I think you did say, right? Like,
they asked me to be on the show, and I said no. Then they picked the team before that team, and I told them no.
Oh, wow.
I said, you can't, that's not going to work for me. I was like, it's my name, my legacy, and if you want my house, you take these members. I gave them about like 15 names, and the first 5 names I gave them, that's the first 5 names they picked.
Oh.
Yeah, because time was running, everybody had a whole other team. I was like, if you want that, if you could just keep the people you got and change the name. That's what y'all do. But you want my name, you want the Juicy experience, this is the experience. I can't give it to you now, because if I give you this, Day Day is a person that he been around me the longest, from Pretty Kitties to the
Yes.
Masters to Juicy, so he knows how to get it done. Execution, like
Yeah.
Day Day is one of those people that, all right, Day Day's
Shouts
like,
to Day Day.
he's one of those people like, if we was a basketball team, I know Day Day would be a perfect defense player.
Yes.
Like he don't have to score, but he's gonna make sure that he's gonna give you 20 and assists this night.
It's so interesting because he's so quiet, like, but like I wouldn't to
A
be so.
spooky girl.
I'd be like, what? This man be behind us?
Yeah, he does a lot, and I feel like I needed him on the team. Nikki was supposed to go, but they didn't take Nikki because they wanted more vocals. That's how they got Davon.
I got it.
And and I know that once they was together, and I would text them every other morning sometimes, because I know it wasn't going to be easy. I know it wasn't going to be easy, but I knew that they could win if they just stayed tunnel vision. That's why people say, oh yeah, they was acting shady. No, they was in a tunnel vision, because if I was there, they would have never came out the room. I would have, but I told them I don't need to be there. I'm like, baby, I can't vogue. I don't follow rules. I don't want this. Take them that one. And I knew that once Day Day got the brains, Kamaya's gonna perform. She could catch choreography. Brooklyn could perform, catch choreography. I knew Lolita was gonna do something, music, something, what she did, and they worked together.
It was a nasty
made it work.
formula.
I know, like it's like, for instance, when people say, "You surprised that you gagged the Juicy's one?" I was like, no. It's like when the Mugler's won. I knew the Mugler's was gonna win.
I really want to get into between you and Horo's like the rivalry because it's for the culture. Like this goes back. I love it too so much because I've seen it from like when I first came out even to now that I'm like, y'all don't even understand how far back this goes down to the mock shows. Like it goes back, and I really, really live for that. Y'all able to like still keep it in the family, like in a way. You know what I mean? Like
when he was on Legendary, he was saying how many times he caught me. And I was telling him, like, what are you doing? Get your head in the game. Get in it. Get in it. You know, release the wiggle.
And it was
like I had told him he caught me, and he know me like I know that at that moment when he caught my phone, he wanted me to say things that nobody else was gonna say to him. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, you know, you've been doing this for so long. If you lose, we're gonna laugh. Like you've been doing it the longest, so you're supposed to win this. If they call performances at the house and the ball right now, if you call performances at the house right now, 9 out of 10 you're gonna win.
Yes.
So you need to do that. Same thing with the Juicies. Yes. So we gotta get it done.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that like the Juicies was winning like back to back to back. I was like, I'm like, damn, this is the Kiki scene all over again, bitch. I was just like, oh my God, like even here, bitch. I was like on TV.
I know the girls
you have to be boots because it's like you can't even say this for the script. Like this is what they give in real life.
Right.
This is what they give in real life. So it's like you can't even be mad. It's just like it's dope to see that. I mean, girl, you had to have been so emotional when they won.
Tora called me the day when they was filming it and they was doing the winners. I was like, oh my gosh, I cried tears.
I bet, girl.
Yeah.
So even with the Masterz too, because now even international, you made a post about how emotional. Like you were touching a lot of gold. You have a lot of gold,
I'm a
Courtney.
spooky girl. I tell them all the time.
You have a gold.
Girl.
So when you do say that you are the culture, you have receipts. You have receipts. I think people need to understand. I'm gonna end off with this too, because Courtney has receipts when she says that she's the culture. When you see her on live and she's you know, talking her shit and being honest about like her experience, like she has receipts behind what she said. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't have the receipts. They be gassed by popularity, but Courtney would tell you like, I'm the culture through receipts, through your influence, through the people you breath life into, and the fact that your legacy is still continuing, and then you even helping the Agas like advance their legacy. Like wherever you seem to go, you seem to just make it a thing.
You gotta. Every time I walk in the room, I see what I could bring to that room.
You be bringing you, and
how can I make this room a better room? Because when I leave this room, I want you to remember me. And if I come here, I have to give something. I'm not always here to take. I'm not always.
I mean, take your members, but giving them away and not.
But it's not about you; it's about them,
right? But I want to say thank you, Courtney, so much for doing this and being on this podcast with me. I would love to have you back, possibly with somebody else too, so we could key more and see what's in the future for Courtney.
I got you. Juicy Ball. November 18, 2023.
Yes, shout out to the Juicy Board.
5
Everybody knows
p.m.
it's gonna be a really big thing. I'm personally working on too. I'm gonna really show out
Are you
just
walking?
because I'm definitely going to. I'm definitely going to. I'm preparing my body for it. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna leave it at that.
Let's see you
And
later.
thank
See you later.
you.
Thanks for
Yes,
having
let's get
me.
out of
All right.
here.